What is going on, guys? So today we're back with another Pokémon Masters video, and today I just kind of want to go over a really quick little thing. Somebody requested that we go over how to grind Rayquaza out, and it's just kind of a way that I found to kind of quickly grind and get all of the basic vouchers, not the super vouchers. So there's a big distinction here that I want to make up front. One is this is the quickest way to get Rayquaza that I know of. Of course, if you have a quicker way, please drop it in the comments below. This is just what I personally used. This took about, with on and off grinding, with a full day's work, like I was grinding all day at work. I would say it probably took me like 2 days on and off, maybe 3 days. I don't know. My math might be a little off there, but so basically I want to point out that this is, again, to only get Rayquaza. If you do the co-op stuff, that's fine. You're going to be able to get not only regular vouchers, but also the super vouchers as well, which actually is going to give you quicker access to like Elite Four notes or any of the things that you need to trade in for the shop where you may need for other things. But if we're just going for these regular vouchers, co-op I found is kind of slow. So I started out in co-op and I got like half of the way there in co-op. Like I think I grinded enough to get almost all of the promotional tickets, which by itself is like 9. It's a lot. It's a lot of freaking time. But then I was like, well, maybe single player's faster. So I sat down and I thought about it and I was like, this probably is going to end up being faster. I timed it. I actually sat down and timed myself doing this. And yeah, so I think this is probably the fastest route that I found. Now, because I do have Lance, I used him. I have seen people talking about using Claire, which is just fine. There's nothing wrong with that. I, in turn, ended up using this team. It's not free-to-play friendly at all. It's actually pretty bad in terms of free-to-play, but this is just the quickest way that I found. Well, if I could choose what I needed. So blue is just kind of there, to be honest. Like, maybe blue isn't even the best choice because one Hyper Beam actually destroys the pincer, which is going to be the problem child. So we'll do 2 runs here really quick, and we'll do one with Torchic and one with blue, just to kind of see if it makes a difference on how fast this goes. But so let's go ahead and start, and we'll see how quickly this goes. I've got 3:38 on my timer whenever I actually hit go, so pending the little bit of loading time there. Now this is all full auto. I'm not touching anything. You see Hyper Beam pretty much did all the work there. I'm wondering if we ended up using Torchic, we would get a little bit better of a boost, which might make this faster. I've particularly used this team the entire time. You can see getting rid of that Turtonator is really quickly. The Dragonite does actually take over and do some potions on the Delibird every now and then, but as you can see, blue was not used at all. So right there, that was, so 38, so let's just round it up to 40 to make this a little easier. That was around 40 seconds. 35, 40 seconds is what I timed the first few times that I did this, versus the co-op stuff giving me like 3 minutes worth of things and for the almost same amount of vouchers. So as you can see, we do get the regular vouchers. There's no super vouchers here, but you get the regular vouchers and you get around 19 or 20. I would say like 20 is probably average. Sometimes you may hit 21, but generally you'll stay at 19 or 20 in about 40 seconds. So I was guesstimating like, okay, that's 20 every 40 seconds and basically push through it that way. Whereas in the co-op stuff, it was taking me like over 3 minutes and I was getting, 20 tickets every time I did that, but I was also getting the super vouchers as well. So it was kind of like I wanted to just kill 2 birds with 1 stone, but this ended up being way, way faster. So that was around 40 seconds. So let's do one with Torchic here and see if this actually makes a difference. Because I would imagine whenever all the presents actually gets you like a special attack boost, like it probably ends up being faster. I didn't check the time, damn it. Let's say 30. Let's say it took a couple of seconds to get in there. So as you can see, we did automatically use a special attack boost, and it's going for the Turtonator first this time, which is interesting. So it did use a move acceleration. Wow, the Hyper Beam missed. Okay, so this one's going to be a little bit different. Some RNG is going to take away some of the wow factor here. That special attack drop actually sucks. Wow, yeah, so this is a little RNG dependent, as you can see, because Hyper Beam is a little rough. We will actually try one with Claire right after this. We'll see if that actually does pretty good. But this one is actually looking a lot worse than the first one. I don't think I generally even use sync moves, which generally that speeds up things quite a bit because sync moves take a little while for the animation, especially if you're on auto. Like, yeah, I mean, it just kind of depends. So that was 3 Hyper Beams missed. I don't think we missed a single one the first time. That 90 accuracy is just horrible. Horrible. Alright, so there you go. That was actually more close to like a minute and 10 maybe. I wasn't paying super close attention to the time, but you could tell way longer than the first one. So we can kind of chalk that up to a little bit of RNG. Let's hit battle again. We're going to go in now. So I started it at 05 on my timer. I have a little timer on the phone for while I'm recording. So we started it at 05. Let's see what we get here. Speed and evasiveness. And then we're going to get some crit rate. Some special attack. Wow, dude. That's insane that it's dodging it. The first go around we didn't have any problems. Now, look at us. Okay, so that's a little faster. What about this next one? Do we hit? Okay. So it really just depends on Hyper Beam hitting. And for whatever reason, like, it's iffy. So we started at 05, we end around, I'm gonna say around 50. So that was around 45 seconds. So it's comparable. It just really depends on how well Hyper Beam goes through and if it misses too many. So there you see we have 21. That's okay, right? But let's say you need something a lot more free to play. Let's try to build one on the spot. I didn't even really prepare for that. So Torchic we'll consider free to play here. As far as, so Torchic's gonna have, even though Pinsir's in there, Pinsir goes down relatively quickly from what I've seen, so it's not like you absolutely need to use a flying type sync pair. It may be beneficial for some instances. Oh, it avoided that Draco Meteor. Wow! Dude, what is up with that? 90 accuracy and we're missing like several in a row on both Hyper Beam and Draco Meteor. That's insane. Now, obviously, if the AI was smart enough to boost up to like a full 6, like it would be way better. But it's just not really getting there, and it's not really utilizing the bar region either. So free to play is going to be a little bit slower, I think. I mean, unless I'm just completely missing something that may make it a little faster. Because I doubt Haxorus is going to be good. But we'll try. I mean, there's no harm in trying. Finally, Turtonator goes down. It is going to prioritize Kingdra because it's basically the only thing that has any attack. And pretty cool animation. I always like it. And see, this is the part that I think is weird. It just utilizes Torchic for some weird stuff. It was doing this at one point with me in another scenario where it just prioritized Flamethrower over like Olivia or something. It was something crazy where it just really wanted to use Flamethrower. So that was really slow. Let's switch out Claire because of the special defense drop. I'm wondering if it's like, if it's freaking out and like trying to prioritize other things instead of just boosting itself. I don't know why the AI thinks that it's not okay. Let's go with, oh man, Iris isn't leveled. Okay, be right back. So let's try this. Still relatively free to play. You do, like I am using, as you saw, level 2 dragon maxed out gear. So this is kind of taking into consideration all of that as well, but let's see how quickly. We started at around 20 by my timer, so on the 20-second mark on my timer. See how quickly this goes. Gonna be boosting up here. Interesting, so it is gonna be boosting up a little bit. It is gonna get some crit rate out of that. It's gonna be boosting up attack as well. I generally like it whenever... Okay. Crit rate probably not going to be able to go any higher. See, this is the weirdest thing, is it's like, gotta use Torchic. Torchic's attack must be like slightly high enough to make a difference, or Iris's attack is just abysmal compared to everything else that Torchic has. Yeah, I would say at this point Claire is probably the better bet, even though it's going to be a little bit iffy and a little slower. As far as free-to-play goes, that's probably the better route. Plus, it is going to let you farm out some sync orbs for Claire, which is going to be quite important in the near future, so that's also a good thing. We actually might die on this one. Definitely don't think Haxorus is the way to go. At least we haven't hit ourselves in confusion, I don't think. Okay, down goes the Turtonator after almost 2 full sync moves. It was really close to getting that second one off. Okay, it does one-shot the Vibrava. Does it one-shot the Pinsir? We hit ourselves. Okay, so this one doesn't seem very safe. I definitely think that Claire is going to be the better option. As far as completely free-to-play, there may be some other units that make a little bit more sense here. Maybe Torchic's not the right one because it does have a little bit more interesting attack stats. But I definitely feel like if you have Lance, that's definitely the way to go. He just really sets everything up. If you don't have Lance, go with Claire. Just kind of build a team around special attack and bar regeneration. That's the best thing that I can kind of advise. Doing single player is way more efficient in terms of time saved to get Rayquaza. After you get Rayquaza, you pretty much need to be doing co-op because there's nothing else that you can use those regular vouchers for. So it's kind of a waste to really do single player after that. But if you guys know of any free-to-play strategies that I am just too lost in my mind to catch, definitely drop them in the comments below. If you have any times, definitely drop those down there as well. Like if these 3 did it in this time, I'd love to know. Just because it would help not only me, because I sat here and talked about it for 15 minutes, but also because it would help other people, and that's what this video is kind of meant for. So, we do want to do a quick sync pair scout here. We don't really care which banner. We're just going to do a random one here. We do want Elisa. That's the only thing we want. So if you want to follow along, on the count of 3, we're going to go in 1, 2, 3. And no flashy animation. We did get trolled here recently with a 4-star antenna. Let's see what we get here. Just 3-star antenna, okay. What about the doors? Give me the good doors. It's not. So we got a Clay, which is fine. That's fine. So that is actually going to be it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out. Thanks so much for watching. As always, remember that if you want to join the Discord, just link down in the description below. Also down there are links to Patreon and YouTube membership if that's your thing. Otherwise, I'm going to go ahead and head out, but I will catch you in the next video.